Hi, I'm Colleen Towner, author of Life Off the Label, a handbook for creating your own brand of health and happiness. And today I want to talk about acetaminophen, which is a drug that most of us use many days of our life. I've used it my whole life for everything from cramping in high school when you get your first period to when you get your first hangover in college, to the headaches of a 2-year-old, to the headaches of working out. All of these things I've used it for, and then I started giving it to my kids. It's given to you in the sample packets from the hospital. And every time somebody sneezes, they're coming in looking for, their favorite flavor of berry blast or bubblegum blue or whatever. But we use acetaminophen in almost everything to treat illness. But I'm learning that acetaminophen may not actually be helpful during times of illness, and in fact may have a huge impact on the reason why 1 in 8 adults have asthma, 1 in 9 children have asthma, and over 55% of us are allergic to something. And these numbers are increasing every year. Given the fact that most of us use this all the time, it's very important for us to understand what it is we're taking. Acetaminophen actually disables the immune system. It reduces the production of T cells and B cells in our liver by over 30%. These are the antibodies that fight infection when we're down. It also reduces our stores of an enzyme called glutathione, which is key to detoxification, also important when we're fighting off colds and illnesses and disease in general. It may even play an important role in the vaccine controversy. Now that's a whole nother bottle of pills, but we don't know why some kids get autism. We don't know why some kids have seizures after they receive a vaccine. We don't know why some kids get fevers and fussy and redness and other kids skip out of the office with the sucker. We don't have the answers to these questions, and most of us aren't willing to blame just the vaccines, even for those people that do come up with autism, and that's awful, but there are probably multiple factors. Vaccine and thimerosal could be one, and genetic susceptibility and environmental issues, all of these things come into play. But a new study is showing that acetaminophen may also be a problem, because when it's used prophylactically in conjunction with the vaccine delivery, it suppresses the immune system and it reduces the efficacy of the vaccine by up to 35%, because our bodies aren't producing the B cells and the T cells, and so we're not creating the antibodies that the vaccine is designed to induce. And this immune suppression effect leaves kids more susceptible to infections. So often we find ourselves back at the doctor for the bronchitis or the ear infection or whatever bug it is that's going around that our kids couldn't fight off, and now we need antibiotics. Also another video. Let's go back to talking about allergies and asthma. The glutathione enzyme, which is very important for detox, that acetaminophen decreases and depletes the stores of, also protects the epithelial cells in our lungs, which is very important if you're dealing with allergies or asthma or respiratory infection. Acetaminophen actually stimulates the production of histamines and can cause inflammation. Remember, it's not an anti-inflammatory like ibuprofen or Aleve or something like that. It's just a pain reliever. So it increases the inflammation and irritation of the nose and the eyes and aggravates our allergic reactions to things like pollen and dander and ragweed and hay fever in general. In fact, acetaminophen has been shown to increase the frequency and severity of asthma attacks, and it aggravates our allergies, and yet it's in almost every single medication that we take to treat the symptoms. The most scary thing of all is that there's been a study of 20,000 children that was just done in Spain a few years ago that shows a single dose a year can increase a child's risk of developing asthma by 70%. Kids that receive it once a month have an increased risk of 540%. And yet in America, we give it to our kids before they leave the hospital. I'm not making this video to scare you. I did not know these things a year ago, and I've used acetaminophen my whole life, and now it's banned from my home. So just consider that medications, we think they make us well, they may not. In fact, they may be making us sick. Think twice before you take them and before you give them to your kids. Oh, and if you don't believe me, I've attached the links to the studies that I've cited below on my YouTube. So leave a comment, check it out for yourself. Live life off the label. Have a nice day.